Hi, PJ Hoover here, coming to you from Austin, Texas. I am so honored that my newest book, Tuts, The Story of My Immortal Life, has been selected for the Spirit of Texas Middle School reading list. Thank you, librarians, for being awesome. My story for Tuts starts back in 1977. This was a really big year in my life. First off, we had just celebrated the bicentennial for the United States, where I dressed up as Betsy Ross. Second, I went and I stood in a really long line and I saw one of my favorite movies, Star Wars: A New Hope. And third, I went on a very special field trip to the Smithsonian Museum of Natural History. I know that may sound pretty exotic, but before I moved to the awesome state of Texas, I grew up outside of Washington, D.C., so I was used to going to the Smithsonian museums quite a bit. But this field trip was different. We weren't just going to look at dinosaur bones and fossils. This field trip, we were going to look at the tomb treasures of the one and only King Tut. What? You've never heard of him? Okay, brief history lesson here. King Tut is this little kid born over 3,000 years ago in ancient Egypt, born into this great big royal family. His dad is the king of Egypt, the pharaoh. He's like the most important guy in the world. But things can change, and King Tut's dad died really early, and so did his older brother, leaving King Tut, this little 9-year-old kid, in charge of the entire country of Egypt. Things were going pretty well for King Tut, but this one sad day, just like his dad and his older brother before him, King Tut died very unexpectedly and very young. And nobody really knows how he died. Some people think there was a hippopotamus attack, some people think he got really sick, and some people think he was murdered. And the thing is, people are going to keep coming up with theories, but we're never really going to know. It's always going to be a mystery. One of the really cool things about being an author is that I get to take a story like this from ancient history and I get to make up whatever I want and put it in a book. And that's what I did for Tuts, The Story of My Immortal Life. And so what happens, and I'm not really giving it away because the title kind of does that already, is that the first couple chapters are set back in ancient Egypt. Tut is having this really epic battle with his evil uncle Horemheb, and there's some blood that gets spilled, it gets on the Book of the Dead, and this crazy spell gets cast that makes Tut immortal, which is great, it's awesome. He is going to live forever. What's not so great and awesome is that his worst enemy, his evil uncle Horemheb, has the same spell cast on him, so he's going to be immortal too. I hope you guys enjoy reading Tut, The Story of My Immortal Life, and I hope my story for how I came up with the idea for the book inspires you to come up with some story ideas of your own. In addition to reading, if you have some time, there's some really fun extras on my website, including a 10-level video game, which is an Escape from King Tut's Tomb challenge, a Minecraft world where you can explore ancient Egypt and modern-day Washington, D.C., and a pick-your-own-quest adventure where you're trying to escape from Egypt alive, and it's actually really hard. There's something like 42 different ways that you can die. Hope to see you out and about in Texas, and thank you so much for reading and for watching.